Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. So, Little Boosie basically decides to not be friends with Ti anymore, and also he basically withdraws from doing a joint album with Ti because he believes that Ti snitched on his dead cousin, or his deceased cousin, or his cousin that passed away. Now, I listened to Ti's interview where he basically explained what happened, and you know, he basically said that he was fighting a weapons charge, and I know what it's like to be fighting a weapons charge because I had a weapons charge on me, and I'm gonna speak on that before I end this video. But nevertheless, he said basically, the attorney said basically, since his cousin had passed while they was on trial, or they was both being questioned, or they was both fighting the case for a weapons charge, since his cousin had, unfortunately, unfortunately lost his life. Basically, the DA said it would be in his best interest, or basically the DA, I guess, cut a deal with his attorney saying, hey, we'll just say the gun belonged to your cousin. And then basically you get to go home and they'll just wrap up the case. So according to Little Boosie, that's a form of snitching, which that makes absolutely no sense. You can't tell on anybody that's not alive. You can't give somebody that's not alive a bid, time, jail sentence. So that doesn't count. And in most cases, I think in every case, they would have did what T.I. did. That's not snitching. So what they gonna do? Take his casket and put it in a cell? What, he gonna get sentenced to 5 years in the afterlife prison? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And see, that's the problem. What you have on the internet, where you have people trying to label that as a form of snitching, that's mouse pad mobsters. And first of all, Lil Boosie is exercising extreme hypocrisy. And I'll talk about that in probably the next video, or I'll at least put together a video talking about that. Like I said before, if the person ain't here, then that's not snitching. Like I said, that the snitch on somebody is to basically testify against somebody that would cause them to be convicted of a crime, or end up being implemented in a crime and end up going to jail. They have to be alive for you to snitch on them. Like what Gunner did, yeah, that was snitching. What the Mexican did, that's snitching. Okay. Sammy the Bull, that was snitching. And so on and so on and so on. They was just trying to wrap up the case. Okay. If one of my homeboys called me and said, hey, Town, check this out, man. Me and so, unfortunately, he got knocked down. We both was fighting a weapons charge, and they basically told me, to just say it was his gun, and then they'll let me go home, and they'll just put it on him, and they'll just wrap up the case. I'll be like, what you waiting for? Now, if it's one of them situations like where both of y'all is around, and then the police say, well, one of y'all got to go down for the gun, then either somebody can take the rap for it, or y'all both take y'all chances in court, or y'all start pointing the finger at each other. So it's either three scenarios to that. Now I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Like about 20 years ago, me and two family members, I ain't gonna say who they are, got rolled up in San Leandro, by the San Leandro PD. There used to be a store over there on East 14th called Traders. And if you know what Traders is it used to be a store that sold, tools. Tools. And you know what type of tools I'm talking about. So we was in there getting some, we was getting some peanut shells. If you catch my drift, and you should know what peanut shells is. So I happened to see a dude that I was beefing with because, he had tried some stuff with me, a few weeks prior. So basically I saw him and he saw me. And at first I was finna sock him in the store. And I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. So I whispered to my cousin and I told him to go, get the clapper, because I was going to try to, yeah, you catch my drift. I was going to try it, but he ran. And unfortunately, the police station is like literally down the street. You can kind of say across the street. So he saw, you know what I'm saying? He saw the boys driving by, and he went and told on me. So he basically ratted, and basically they pulled up on us. They, they drew down on us. They found it. So they took us all, you know what I'm saying? They took us all, to the holding cell. So basically it was 3 of us. So I told the 2 family members, I said, you know what? I'm already fighting the case. I'm fighting a possession for sales case. So I just went and told them, I'll just take the rap for it. It ain't no use for all of us to, go down for it, So I told, I told the boys that it was mine. It was mine. So I took the rap for it. Now, luckily for me, the tool, it wasn't a throwaway. It was, it was legally purchased. So that saved me. But then, California have strict laws about having stuff on you, so it was locked and loaded and all that kind of stuff. So they, I just took the charge. It wasn't really nothing. It wasn't really nothing. I just did a little bit of, I did a little bit of time for it, did some probation, did some community service and paid a fine. And then, eventually I got it wiped away. But yeah, when you have those type of scenarios, somebody got to go down for it. So what was the use of T.I. saying, I'm going to fight it and go to court and then end up getting convicted and then doing time, and then like that just wouldn't make no kind of sense. That just wouldn't make no kind of sense. That would just be idiotic. But that's what happens when you have these dudes on here, these mousepad mobsters that be trying to talk like they know the streets and stuff. Anybody would have did that. And see, anybody would have did that. So let me get this straight. The person that you fighting the case with, whether it's your homie, your brother, or a family member, something happened to them, they ain't here. And you say, hey man, how is like, I'm gonna just go on and do my time because if no, he's not here. He's not here. And like I said before, that wouldn't make no kind of sense. So they basically just go say it was him, and then they just go close the case, and that's it. And then it's considered, to a certain degree, it's considered a win for the prosecution. Because they get, they found out who it belonged to. So it's kind of like, a win, because basically they completed their investigation. So yeah, man, Lil Boosie is tripping. So no, T.I. didn't rat. No, he didn't. No, absolutely not. I just got to say this, though, for real, because like I said before, man, some of you dudes on here, man, it's just sickening how you guys be trying to sit up here, try to explain the streets, and you don't know nothing about the streets. And like I said, anybody that's sit up here and say they would have they would have sat up there and fought a case that they didn't have to fight, where they just basically offered them a deal like that, that's not snitching. Because like I said, deceased people don't do time. For real. They don't get charged. It was just basically it was just basically wrapping up the case. But anyway, man, I just wanted to, explain this kind of stuff to y'all, because, I've been in that type of environment, so I know how it works. So no, T.I. didn't snitch. And if anybody says he did, you're a moron. You're a moron. You're an imposter. You're a mousepad mobster. You're a wankster. You're a clown. I know a lot of you Gunna supporters and you know what I'm saying, Trick 9 supporters will try to justify anything because you guys support those type of dudes. So you'll try to tie, you know what I'm saying, you'll try to tie anything. You'll try to unpack anything that'll try to, you know what I'm saying, it that will relieve him from being, those two dudes from being tattletales. So just stop it. Stop the cap. Anyway, this is your boy LBS about.